Thank you Nintendo and thank you Mario. Welcome to a new era in cinema. Goodbye to the superhero comic book adaptation movies and welcome computer game adaptations. After 40 years of trying, we're finally starting to get some good quality video game adaptations. However, I will say, whenever anyone asked, probably, maybe 10 years ago, name a good video game film. And obviously, the only correct answer at that time was, of course, Street Fighter. To the anime. If you haven't seen Street Fighter 2 the anime, then you are definitely missing out, and I highly recommend it. I remember I watched it like a few years ago, like all of it on YouTube, absolutely free. And yeah, it is still absolutely brilliant. And the reason Street Fighter 2 the anime is a brilliant film is the same reasons I was talking about in a bit as to why we may be in this new era of cinema. Anyway, so enter Mario. Mario is doing fantastic. I'm still yet to see it, mostly because of where I am located. So I'm not currently able to see it, but I really want to see it, and I'm looking forward to watching Mario when I get the opportunity. But Mario is absolutely killing it at the box office, and deservedly so, from all the reviews and other people I've seen talk about it say that it's a really good film for the people who like Mario the game. And Mario's got such a big audience for the last 40 years as well. So there's probably a lot of people who can recognize that. So that doesn't really surprise me too much. But also, obviously, Mario's doing great, but there was a path made for it. This was slowly happening. A lot of it thanks to films like Sonic, the two Sonic movies I really enjoyed, especially with the first Sonic, when we had that first trailer and the awful Sonic, and then they went back and redone all the animation for that. It was a great movie, but that just kind of like made it even better that the studio listened to all the fans' concerns. Detective Pikachu as well came along. I'm actually quite surprised now that I think about it. I'm quite surprised that film didn't make even more money, but fantastic film, absolutely loved it. And again, these films follow a trend that I'll talk about very soon. But I think the first one that really came about, like after Street Fighter 2, the anime, and then we just had nothing but terrible adaptations until, I guess, Rampage was maybe the first one. Now, I never actually played that arcade game, but from what I could see, there wasn't exactly that much source material. The person Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson played apparently didn't even live that long in that game. But either way, it felt more like maybe a bit more of a Jumanji style movie. But either way, that was like the first one I could remember being like, oh, this is a good video game film adaptation. But that was kind of like the first one that I remember. And obviously Netflix have created a couple of good series as well with Arcane, which is, I just love Arcane too much. It's probably my favorite adaptation out of all of them. And Cyberpunk Edgerunner, which I was really surprised about. This one I was expecting nothing from, and it blew me away. Some really good video game into movie adaptations, which just kind of came out of nowhere. But I think there's a reason why. And from what Arcane, Cyberpunk, Detective Pikachu, and Sonic and Mario have all done, what I would say is that what makes these films different to all the other adaptation is that they stayed more true to the actual source material. Characters acted in a much more recognizable way. These characters were created by people to be a certain way. And when a director, producer, or actors come in and they want to change everything around, it's like you're taking this character in a situation where he wasn't designed for, and you can just feel it. Even audiences that don't like these games can feel that this character just doesn't feel right in this world. Because when they were made in the game, they were made specifically for that world, and now you're changing that person, and it just doesn't make sense. Street Fighter 2, the anime, felt very much like it honored the source material. The characters felt exactly how they were in the game. I know there wasn't exactly much story in Street Fighter 2, but if there was story, you could imagine it would be like this. These characters would be like this. So it was very easy to see, and it made sense because this world was designed for them. The same with Detective Pikachu, and it was a good job they didn't go for like the main series of games, because trying to see someone collect all the badges and then go into the Pokemon League, that's better left to a TV series and the anime. Definitely the anime is probably the best source for that, and it doesn't need to be, that specific style didn't need to be adapted. But changing Detective Pikachu, and we can still feel the whole Pokemon world. We can still feel Pokemon and humans living together. The audience and the game audience can easily merge together to see that this all makes sense. If you want to change everything around for whatever reason, and the producers who want to change everything and the directors who want to change everything just kind of have this skin of what it is. So you got a Halo skin over this TV series, but it's nothing Halo related, and everyone from even the normal audience to people who love the games can feel that it just doesn't feel right. So I kind of called stuff like Halo, Assassin's Creed, the Tomb Raiders, the Resident Evils, these are more like fake adaptations. They've got the skin, they've got the aliens look cool, some of the battle scenes look cool, but when the characters start interacting with each other and you start getting character development, it feels completely alien to what it actually should be. And I feel like everyone could feel that. This is why these, like, Halo didn't exactly do very well. This is why Assassin's Creed completely failed. Which leaves us onto what is coming. So as far as I know, I tried to do a little bit to see what is coming. And so far, we've got future game adaptations coming. Nintendo have already said they've got a bunch of IPs they can work with, like Metroid and Zelda. And we're also going to get like Netflix, who have Horizon and Gears of War. Amazon have God of War, Fallout, and Tomb Raider. And Peacock have Twisted Metal, which I've not yet played, so I wouldn't be able to really judge that. But I don't feel like we are entering a new era of cinema with the video game adaptations, because as much as I would love to see an amazing Gears movie or show, I'm not really sure which one they're doing, an amazing God of War movie, an amazing Horizon movie, I don't think that's actually what they're going to make. I still feel that you're going to have directors, producers, and actors coming in, and they want to put their own spin on it. They want to create their own character in this. They want to just tell the story that they still want to tell. And we'll still get some movies that are adapted really well, like Mario, and I'm sure everything else that Nintendo do, they will adapt their properties correctly. But I still feel there's going to be other ones who's like, nope, I want to do it this way. And if they're a big enough director, then they'll probably get their way. So this is why I feel the video game adaptations are going to be mixed bag. It's definitely not going to dominate like all the superhero films. Well, I say the Marvel superhero films were, because DC were really struggling. I feel this is going to go exactly the same way. You're going to have some really good adaptations that stick closely to the source material. And then you're going to have some where the directors and producers feel that they're above the source material and they're just going to destroy it, exactly like what is happening with The Witcher, where you had Henry Cavill, who clearly loves the source material and wants it to go that way and is tried his best to take it that way. But then you had other people who wanted to tell a different story, but they want the skin of The Witcher so that they can get the audience, because the Witcher audience is so big that audience comes over and they can do whatever they want. And that is never going to work. So for these video game adaptations to actually be as successful as, say, Mario, Detective Pikachu, get critically acclaimed like Arcane has, the best way is to stay true to the source material. If you want to put your own spin on it, it still has to be true to the source material. You can't just change. And there's just been so many failures because none of them represent the game that they've adapted. And the only one I saw for like 30 years was Street Fighter 2. It took like ages until Rampage and Detective Pikachu came out, where finally someone who loved the source material made the movie. And I would also be very excited for Henry Cavill, what he's doing next in Warhammer, because of how much he loves that. And if you put somebody who loves it in charge, you know it's going to be a much better product. So I don't think we're entering a new era, but I do hope to get some amazing movies from video game adaptations. I would love to see a Yakuza film or series. That would be amazing. But at this stage, I don't think they can destroy anything else I love, because they've already destroyed most things I love. Anyway, I thought I would have completed Yakuza 4 by now, but I haven't. So I'm going to go and finish Yakuza 4. For now, I am done. See you soon.